Hello, my name's Gary Neidert, host of My First Ride podcast. I want to give you a little insight of how this all came about and why I started My First Ride podcast. You see, even though I'm a car guy without a car to tinker on, I wanted to do something car related. And since I already had another podcast, I thought, well, I can do a podcast on cars. When I was thinking about starting a podcast dealing with cars, I read an article on jalopnik.com, and it really got my attention. It was written by David Obachowski, a contributing writer for the website jalopnik.com. So today, I want to tell you a little bit about David's article and how it influenced me to start My First Ride podcast. In 2017, I came across the article written about Steven Weber, a car guy in Longmont, Colorado. It talked about how he enjoyed riding in his sister's Mustang when he was 14 years old. During these rides is when his appreciation for cars began to grow. When it came time to buy his first car in 1973, he was talking to his dad about what he wanted. He had already looked at buying a GTO, which is what he really wanted. Well, while Steven was working at a gas station, his dad brought a 68 Camaro by to show it to him. The big thing about all this, it was that his dad brought the Camaro by for Steven to look at. It was his dad's way of reaching out and maybe lessening the strain in the father-son relationship they were experiencing. That's what really meant something to Steven. Plus, it was a little less money than the GTO. Well, he bought the Camaro, and life goes on. After high school, he joined the Air Force and then got out in 1980. After he got out of the service, he was back home in Longmont, Colorado, and while driving his pickup, he was T-boned. He was thrown out of the truck and suffered a massive closed head injury. He was in a coma for several days. Well, he recovered from all that, but sometimes, as it happens with a closed head injury, there can be consequences later in life. Almost 40 years after the accident, the head injury began to affect him. When the article was written about Steven, he was 60 years old, and because of the head injury from years ago, it was causing his cognitive function to decline, even to the point of not being able to work as an electrician. This made it difficult because he was sought after in the community for the work that he did. He even got to the point where he couldn't even keep up with the continuing education classes and the things that he had to do to recertify to be an electrician. Now, this was really hard on him. The article goes into more detail about his Camaro, his plans to pass it along to his son, and some of the experiences he shared with his dad and the Camaro. Now, after listening to and watching today's message, be sure and check out David's story. There's a lot more detail, like I said, in this story that you'll find very interesting. The link to his article will be in the show notes for you to check out. Now, the sad part of this is that Steven knows the day is coming, that the memory of all this is just going to slip away. And that was even starting to happen when the article was written. Unfortunately, when his memory slips away, so will the stories of Steven's Camaro, his dad, and even Steven's son. This article made a huge impact on me, and I realized there are a lot of stories that need to be shared regarding people and their first rides. So that's why I decided to develop this podcast where people share their memories of their first vehicles. And do you remember your first ride? You know, the first mode of transportation that gave you a newfound freedom. Think about it. What do you remember about your first ride? I would be thrilled to have you as a guest on My First Ride podcast. It's an online audio-video program spotlighting the stories of people's taste of freedom with their first vehicle. Whether it was a car, truck, or motorcycle, we all have some great memories that need to be shared. We'll talk about your first vehicle and the memories attached to that time in your life and what kind of an impact it had on you later in life. It doesn't matter if your first ride was 5, 20, 30 years ago or more. What does matter is that you share the stories. If you have fond memories of your first ride, it's time to tell those stories and what they mean to you. You know, stories you can tell your kids, your grandkids. Although there are some stories that probably need to remain untold. It doesn't matter how busy your schedule is. The whole process to record our conversation is very easy. It'll be a 30 to 40-minute conversation recorded over Zoom. And now just about everybody knows about Zoom, right? I'd love to have you as a guest on My First Ride podcast. Would you be open to participating? You know, telling your first ride story. If yes, I would like to schedule a time where we can record our conversation. Contact me at myfirstridepodcast@gmail.com, and we'll start the process of setting up to record your story and share it on myfirstridepodcast.com. Final thought. You may not have your first ride, but you still have the memories. It's time to share those memories before they fade away. I'm Gary Neidert, host of My First Ride podcast. Send me an email if you have questions or you'd like more information. Again, my email is myfirstridepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.